Good evening and welcome everyone to another friendly edition of Friday with Friends. Tonight's friend, Arti Lal, all the way from London. Thank you, Zoom. Hello, Arti, and good evening to you.
Hello, and thank you for the welcome. It's lovely to be here.
It's with great pleasure. Let me say a little bit about who you are and what you do. You're a coordinator of the Inner Space Museum and Self-Development Center in Covent Garden, which I never would think would have a meditation center, in London. She facilitates workshops, seminars, and for companies, corporations, and communities throughout London. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Friday with Friends. Just a small part of what you're already doing. I learned so much from what you do. And before we get started on the subject matter, I would like to ask you a couple questions about inner space itself and what is inner space and how does it impact your community?
Inner Space is the information center, meditation center for the Brahma Kumaris. And the idea of inner space is that it is meeting people where they are, in the sense that it's not trying to teach you to meditate, although if you want to, you will learn to meditate. But if you want to just walk in and have a moment to decompress, we have a quiet room, which is our meditation space, but it's a silent space, so people can come in and just allow 5 minutes to allow any stress or tension or far too much thinking. Sometimes we have far too much thinking, just to dissipate so you can get back in to whatever you're doing. It has a bookshop so that you can come and browse. But our primary goal is to help people on their journey. And that means that they've already got their journey, whatever it is. And we're there to say, okay, here are some products that can help you, whether it's a course, a seminar, a lecture, a talk, a workshop, books, CDs, anybody who still has CDs. Or just a conversation. It's all of those things. And the idea is that you treat it like you would your grocery store. You go in, you pick up what you need, and then you leave. And the next time you need something, you come back and you pick it up. The grocery store doesn't tell you what to cook for dinner, right? But they may suggest some different products than you would normally use. And so an inner space is very much like that. It's your local personal development meditation store. Come in, pick up what you need, and then just come back when you need something else.
I really like that. It shows a lot of respect for the individual, and you're not forcing something down someone's throat of what you think they should eat. And do you find that that makes people feel some space and some safety that they can come and connect to you to the amount that they want to?
Pretty much it works like that. We just make sure we have many, many different ways of connecting. That's all.
How long has Inner Space, how did it come about and how long has it been there?
We've been in central London. We started actually on Regent Street, and then we moved from Regent Street a little later to Covent Garden. So we've been around for almost 30 years. And it's,
wow.
Where did it start? If you were to ask Daddy Yankee when she was around, who was our previous administrative head, she would say it started back in 1974 when she, 73 when she first came to the UK, and early 70s basically. And she arrived in London one day, and the very next day she went into central London to see what London was like and who the people she would be serving are like and what they would like to learn and develop. And she had the thought back then. It just didn't materialize till the late 1980s. 1997, actually, it started.
And have you been with Inner Space all that time yourself?
Yes, I have. I only turned up to help put the office together, and I just never left.
Well, it says a lot of good things about both of you, both the place and you, which it leads beautifully into the subject of today, which I came up with because I was thinking about what is it that I think that you really do, there. And from my own personal experiences, you empower other people. And this is really so important. In your main way of empowering, it's like I love the grocery store metaphor. It's beautiful that you're empowering others through listening by giving people a space to speak and to express their ideas and to find their voice. When you hear that phrase, the gift of listening, the art of empowering others, what filters through your mind?
I guess the gift of listening is about, opening your heart with respect. And the art of empowering others, well, that's just being supportive, being present and supportive, and turning around and saying to people, your decisions or your thoughts and your journey, which is your life, is valuable and it makes a difference to the world, and I'd love to support you. And I guess that's what those phrases mean for us.
Oh, it's really beautiful. It sounds, idealistic, but it's an experience that you actually have. I bet you anything that you feel that you learned so much yourself through this whole process.
I think it's been the place I've grown the most. I've met many challenges, what is a challenge? It's just something that makes you rethink the mindset you have or the belief systems you have.
Because you're a meditation teacher, and so you're coming from a place of things that work, and so it's asking, by what you're doing, you're asking yourself to use your ears and have respect in your heart for other people. Another question, what have you found? There's different success rates of people getting their idea across. In your experience, what qualities enable you to hear, or what makes someone a successful speaker to get their idea across? What qualities do you have to have?
I think authenticity, because every single person on our planet is going to be unique, is going to be an individual. And so authenticity, if we really want to touch people's hearts, I have to turn up and be authentic and not be worried about being a cookie cutter in a certain way, that a good speaker is this. We've seen that that's not true. We've seen people are touched because somebody has been so open, so honest, and sincere. And
I was thinking that's true. And so I was thinking the word that kept coming into my mind when you were speaking is transparency. And I guess that is authenticity, isn't it? Is being transparent. Why is it that we tend to shy away from transparency in your experience?
I think a lot of it is competition or comparison. Definitely it will be rooted somewhere in a lack of self-esteem or self-worth. It's just not knowing yourself or valuing your own journey. I'm not necessarily the best speaker. That's a fact. But I am somebody whose journey has grown and I've appreciated my journey. So if I can share with you something that I've appreciated and benefited from, well, then that's all that's required, really.
Well, that's true, because I'm just thinking that the world is filled with more people who probably would think of themselves as not being great speakers than being great speakers. And so when someone is authentic enough to make themselves transparent and share that, I feel sort of a kinship with you, and it makes me want to listen more. I feel that I'm not alone in this.
That's just it. You know, it doesn't matter what our journeys are. The lessons we learn, we might learn them at different points in our journey through life. But the reality is we're all learning roughly the same thing. And that's the beauty of it. And to be honest, there isn't anything to compare because nobody's two journeys. Even if you're twins or triplets, your journeys are not going to be identical in any way. Similar situations, but your responses, your simulation will be different. And valuing that means that I can turn up the next day with something to share and offer everyone else around me.
And I'm sure that you must have regular people who listen that, you know, have a normal, they keep coming back as an audience because they've grown to appreciate coming there, and you create a safe space for others to come to. That, and that really is high praise, to be honest, is because it's what we all need. We all want to explore, but for one reason or another, my self-respect isn't equal to my feelings that I might be, but I don't know that I can be. And do you find that there have been people that go through the process that have gotten closer and might explore this self-discovery process by taking up meditation courses as a result of listening to these Fridays sessions you have?
Yes, some have become meditators with the Brahma Kumaris. Some have become Buddhists and now teaching Buddhism, and dedicated Buddhists who've taken that vow and moved on. Some have become vicars. Some have become nuns. Some have become authors. A couple of them, people have become filmmakers. And I love that about, I guess, the Brahma Kumaris. It's really saying, go on, how do you want to express the best we have to offer as a human race? And it's lovely, it really is.
You must feel a great joy in seeing that, and as a result, maybe kind of a mothering attitude towards everyone, like you want everyone to be safe, and you don't want to push your agenda. I'm coming back to that thing you said about the grocer doesn't tell you what to eat, and that's so true. That's what I want to hear. That makes me feel safe to come to you, because, you know, we don't all have all the self-respect that we need, and we have some little areas, and that's the very thing we're very uncomfortable about exposing to you. But when I feel that you create a safe space, it opens it up to me. So you're succeeding in that area, if that's been one of your goals.
Thank you. Thank you. That's really good to hear that from somebody who has joined us on a Friday night. That's been fantastic to hear. Thank you.
Well, it really works. In your exposures to other people sharing, are there some common elements which enables them to communicate their gift?
Are there common elements? I think there's a couple of things that really have touched me. People's stories, and not the whole life story, but little pockets of this has worked for me, this I'm working on, and I haven't mastered it. But particularly some of our senior teachers, when I've asked them to speak, and they've been people I've known all my life, many of them, at least from my teens. And when they turn around and say, you know, I'm still working on this, but these are the steps that have helped me. Well, that gets me so excited for a number of things. And I think that I've seen actually with all of our speakers, they do this mostly, that they're sharing something. And when they do, what happens is that sense that comes to me that, gosh, I still have a chance. I can still get it right. I don't have to have got it right already. I don't have to be something already. But as I'm listening to the speakers, I get so excited that I'm not just on my own. Because
Yes.
feel
I
that,
hear you.
you know? And you see so many stories and you go, gosh, I feel that too. I felt that too. Thank you for sharing that. So that's one thing. Two, I just get so excited because I know somebody has taken an hour, 40 minutes, an hour of their life to sit and share something. I'm going to learn something. I get so excited about that. And so normally on a Saturday morning, they have a hard time shutting me up because I say, I like that and I like that and I like that. And I think we can practice this. And how do you think we could do something like that? For me, it adds to my love for life. So
it is really, it touches me to hear that. And it actually fills me with the desire to continue to unravel myself, that, because I think hope is what we really want, because we see, even in our own practice, as you were talking about seniors, and when you get to, maybe you even learn something about them, even though you've known them your whole life, in a way that you see a new part of them, and the easiness with they explore and share makes you feel that, wow, me, that is, so the authenticity, the transparency, the honesty, it really is a very, very powerful force.
I think, yes, I think anybody who comes to a Friday talk is turning up to, with the Covent Garden, is turning up to learn something. And I love the audience for that, because they really are turning up with a very open mind, open heart. And that says a lot about the people who come.
It does. It does. Just one other question related to the pandemic. How did the pandemic affect your talks and the actions and the activities of Inner Space?
Oh, hugely, because we had to close. Being in central London, we actually had to stop. And that was a real eye-opener, because we're used to going in at 6 a.m. and coming home at 8, 9 p.m. kind of thing. It was a little bit of a hamster wheel from time to time, Monday to Saturday, and then Sunday talks. And we used to run talks in different parts of London. And so Saturday morning talks were for young professional people. 30, 40 people would turn up. Sunday afternoon talks, about 120, I guess, would turn up. And that's more for, people in a more relaxed position. They don't have things to cram into their timetable, but they're genuinely interested about looking for other things. Friday talks would usually be around 400 to 500 people, and that was for professional people or people working in central London. And that was just the talks. That wasn't the meditations or anything else we were doing. So it was a bit of a hamster wheel, which we loved. It was exciting. You never knew who you were talking to. You never knew where you were going to be. Yes, certain things would be there in place, but often things kind of just went up in the air and you were finding things. So it was exciting, but we never had online events. I had always shied away from it, because I've always felt that a person to person is much more useful. And so although there had been many requests, and I now shamefully say I should have done something about it earlier, having now been exposed to Zoom, but we in February, when I was back, mid-February, we started looking, because by then we knew that things could look pretty dramatic. And then third week of February, we started hearing offices would be closing and that we wouldn't be running sessions in person. So we did our homework. We decided on going with Zoom, and by the beginning of March, we'd hit the ground running, so that all of our sessions shifted online. And you can imagine 2020, everybody was trying to scramble and find their feet in that sense. And so there'd be 100, 200 people turning up for a meditation on a daily basis. It was just, and I know that we would never have got those numbers on a daily basis.
Isn't that something? You know, it really gives one trust in the drama, as they say, that things are coming along, that you've gone from one that believes so strongly in person, and now you're an expert at Zoom.
Oh no, not an expert, but a regular. Definitely.
Well, meaning that it's really become a part and parcel of what you do. Is this? It's just that you don't even have to think about it. And look how quickly something can change, and you can acquire skills that you didn't even know that you remotely had.
I know. Tell me about that, because when we first, none of us had an idea of what a webcam was, and that we would need one, or anything like that, or a microphone, or a light, or
Yeah.
It was just learning, but it was fun. It was a
Yes.
lot of fun.
Learning is fun. See, that's the thing. Learning is so much fun. That's really a very important point that I teach people of all ages, and I know people that are youthful in their 80s and even the 90s because they never let go of learning.
Yeah.
They never let go of learning. You know, I think we've used up all the time allotted, which is wonderful because I got a good feel for it. I'm sure everyone will like it. Could we close with you leading us in like a 3-minute meditation commentary kind of based on today's subject matter?
Sure, let's try. Let's have a go.
Okay.
So many of you will know that it's best to sit comfortably so that your body is relaxed. So take a moment, just shift over and be comfortable. Maybe keep your hands in your laps flat, your feet flat, and just allow your eyes to rest. A little like if you were daydreaming. Let your eyes rest and join my voice on a little journey. I'm the creator of my thoughts. I'm also the listener. I create my thoughts, sometimes as a response to what I've heard. Sometimes in response to my feelings or beliefs. And so meditation becomes the process of listening. As I listen to my body, it becomes calm and still. As I listen to the chatter in my mind, it becomes silent and content. As I listen to my heart, it becomes stronger and more open. And as I listen to the Supreme, hope and joy flourish. And as I listen to the drama of life, trust and strength flows. I am a being of love, of peace, of joy. And as I align myself by listening, I find the beauty in the world around me, in every being. And I see a reflection of peace, of love, of joy in their minds and their hearts. So the soul-to-soul connection becomes a truth. And although we're individual, we're never alone. And I'm able to channel now that joy, that peace, that the source offers. As a comfort for myself and for others. Others' love, the source is love, ensures I feel heard and respected. So that I feel whole once again. When you're ready, refocus your eyes and come back into the room. Om Shanti.
Thank you.
My
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you for sharing your authenticity with us this evening. I appreciate it. How does one find inner space from sunny Florida?
Easy. Check the website out. It's innerspace.org.uk. And once you see visit the website, you'll see two options. Well, you'll see many options. But to join us from Florida, go on the online section. And there's online meditations, there's seminars, there's also talks, like you've mentioned. And we're lucky that we have people from across the world join us for sharing on those talks. So you get to be part of different parts of the world without leaving your armchair.
Wonderful. It's so rich. Thank you again. And we'll see you again. Thank you for being with us on Friday with Friends. I really appreciate it. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Mita, thank you very much. Bye now.